Today for Full Album Friday, we're going to take a look at MC Lyte's 1988 masterpiece, Light as a Rock. If there were ever a genre that's been completely dominated by males, it's definitely the world of hip-hop. As for nearly its entire existence, the presence of female MCs has been almost minuscule. However, as the genre moved into its so-called golden age, MC Lyte made it her mission to prove that gender had absolutely nothing to do with ability or impact. Though most are unaware, MC Lyte actually made her initial recordings at only 12 years old, and that single, Crammed to Understand You, remains an iconic hip-hop track to this day. It was the real, in-your-face lyricism and clear talent that quickly set her far apart from every MC, regardless of gender. But on Light as a Rock, she uses the album to cover every single style of hip-hop possible, including her destructively brilliant diss track, 10% Diss. On the track, MC Lyte spends the better part of 5 minutes absolutely destroying fellow female rapper Antoinette, and she leaves no question as to who the superior MC is. Whether she's rhyming about drug abuse, various sorts of violence, or calling out male MCs and putting them in their place, there had simply been nobody who had sounded like this before. And MC Lyte's approach remains a massive source of influence and importance to this day. The rhymes are unapologetic and blunt in the best way possible. And yet it's the fact that her flow is so smooth and natural that makes it impossible to fault her rhymes in any way. It's the power in every single one of her words that make it so you simply cannot ignore what she's saying. And you can easily make the case that she is the hip-hop counterpart of Patti Smith. You'll also notice that MC Lyte never needs to raise her voice to make her point, as it's her consistent, focused sound that draws you in so deep, as well as proving that her words and her style were more than enough for maximum impact. Along with her rhyming, the vocals and the samples on this album perfectly represent that golden age of hip-hop sound, but they're able to push it much further and much wider than almost any other record from that time. Whether it's the sounds of funk or go-go or some of the most simplistic, stripped-down beats you've ever heard, it's the variety in sounds and textures that keeps this album so engaging. It also shows that there's not a pace or a mood that MC Lyte couldn't master, and it's the gritty feel to these songs that lets them remain authentic and raw all these decades later. When people look back on the era where hip-hop broke into the mainstream, it's almost always attributed to a group of male performers. But the fact remains that MC Lyte and a handful of other female performers were absolutely there to prove that talent and importance had absolutely no bearing due to gender. Light as a Rock is beyond classic, and it's a massive turning point in both the musical genre as well as history itself. And this reality, combined with the exceptional quality in every aspect of this record, makes it an essential part of every music collection. And if you don't have this one, make sure you change that this week. Thank me later.